Hey there. I've gotten some questions from friends who also have been trying this whole coloring thing as to how I get some of the effects that I get. Um, Forgot the really good lamp there. Um, so I wanted to give an example of a couple of ways that I do this. There are two basic things that you can do. There's blending and then there's layering, which is kind of a form of blending, but I'll show you. Um, First thing you need to do is you need to pick the two colors you're going to use. For this one, I'm going to be using Prismacolors, one being Scarlet Lake and the other being Spanish Orange. Now, what I usually do when I start to color a section is I'll start with the lighter color first. In this case, that would be the Spanish Orange. So I'll just go in here. Now I work in little circles when I color like that. Now this is going to be a basic blend. So back here at the tip, I'm making sure it's loaded with color. And then the further I get towards the center here, I'm pressing a little more lightly each time to where when I'm just about here, I'm barely even touching the paper. So you can see I've got a gradient going on there. Now, I'm bringing in my Scarlet Lake, and this time I'm going to start from back here. Just give it a little bit of color in the corner there. And this one I'm not going to press hard for very long. And then just work my way up until I get about maybe this far. And again, I use very, very light pressure, just barely touching the paper at this point. And I go back with the Spanish Orange. And in the area where the two cross or overlap, just keep going over it and over it until I get that. So, as you can see, I've got a slight two-color gradient there. As I like to put it, I get it to the point where I don't hate it. I would say keep going until you like it, but you know, I know what we're like. Just go until you don't hate it, right? Okay. Now, to do more of a layer effect, what we're going to do with that one is we're going to use two forms of green. I've got a spring green and then I've got an olive green. Or pardon me, it's a dark green Prismacolor. And we'll just pick this outer section here since it looks kind of leaf-like. Now when I layer, instead of creating a gradient with the lighter color, I'm going to go all the way to the edge of the area. Now it is still kind of lighter on this end, but that's just me. So you can see the difference here with layering is that you're putting color on top of previously existing color. You're not trying to blend two colors together like I did here, starting with, you know, the colors on either end of this section. Now, bring in this. I'll start from here. Now, unlike what I did with the red, I'm not pushing very hard. I'm just giving a little bit of a touch, and then I work my way up a little bit. And stop right about there. Do the same here. Feather out the line a little bit. Go back to the lighter color. Mostly what you're attempting to do here is when you go from this darker color to this lighter color, even though it's pretty obvious that it stops right about there, that you're not going to get a hard line. Because let's face it, that isn't attractive. So, or at least I don't think it is. And then if you want, I've also done things where I just barely do something up here. Work my way out a little bit. And then go back with that. Blend it out a little bit. So that's more of a layering effect. Now, normally I don't use Prismacolors as often as I use polychromos pencils, but I wanted to show you them with Prismacolors because that's what a lot of people tend to have. And, you know, really, if you're not going to be doing, you know, like commission work or something, Prismacolors are great for coloring. They go on very smoothly. The only problem that you might run into is the fact that the barrels, inside the barrels, they might be either a little off center, or the colored lead may have shattered in the barrel if you drop it, and there are ways to fix that. Now, to give you another example, this time using a different pencil, I'll choose this little area over here. This is a Derwent Color Soft. Let's see if I can get the... There. This is another wax-based pencil. This is blush pink. So I'm going to color this right here. I'm going to do a gradient again. So we'll start with lighter on the outside. Now the only reason I do lighter on the outside and then get darker as you go closer to here is that makes it look a little more three-dimensional. Obviously, you can color it whichever way you want. If anybody ever tells you you need to do things a certain way while you're coloring, you send them to me. I'm going to give them some tough love. Now with a Color Soft, it's a little bit easier to get a one-color gradient that is a bit more smooth, as you can see. So I actually think I will just get down to about here. Okay. Now, I'm going to use red, or pardon me, rose. So you can see it says rose. Like the Doctor. Like the Doctor's companion, Rose. And yes, I realize I'm doing straight strokes here instead of a circle, but I wanted to make sure I got the edges so that when I go over in making circular motions, that I don't accidentally go over into the next area. Da-na-na. There you go. I've done better, but you know, for an example, just to show you as an example of how to do that, that's how you do it. And the best thing I can tell you to do is just break out your pencils and practice on some things. There are plenty of downloadable pages that you can print off, so that if you do something and you hate it, you can just start over with a fresh printout. That's pretty much it. So, if this helps you, let me know. and maybe I'll make some more of these kinds of videos.